Hello, Mr. Lattimore. I just wanted to tell you congratulations on the win. You were great out there. I could feel him taking me all in, tempting me to blush as he accepted my hand.
Appreciate that, love. Who you here with?
He asked, peeking behind me as if he expected the explanation to be there. I flashed my badge, similarly to the way I had done for the security guard when I answered, I'm actually here for work. I'm a journalist. I write for fullestdisclosure.com. They sent me to cover the fight. Having to say it out loud only reminded me of how outlandish it sounded, considering I didn't know the half about boxing. And thankfully, the prince didn't grill me on it, instead asking a simple,
Did you enjoy it?
I mean, yeah, it was good. You did your thing and all that, I replied with a wave of my hand, avoiding his eyes that seemed to be zeroing in on me with every word I spoke. Almost as if he could see right through my bullshit of a response. Still, he once again saved me from making a complete fool of myself when he asked,
You got a card on you?
A card? He took a step closer, peering down at me with a boyish grin as he explained,
So I can find your article later. I'd be interested to read what you have to say about the fight. Interested to peep your perspective.
Right, I breathed. His closeness, enough to have me fumbling through my purse to find what he was asking for. And of course, the only one I could get my hands on was a coffee-stained version that I should have thrown away weeks ago. Still, since it was my only copy, I handed it his way with an apology. Sorry, this one got a little wet, but you can still read the information. He accepted the card that looked especially dainty in his large hands, which still had lines of evidence from the hand wraps he wore under his gloves, pinching it between his fingertips as he read,
Bella Stevenson. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine, Prince. I gushed a little too easily for my liking, my flirtatious tone totally inappropriate for the circumstance. But it felt as if I couldn't help myself. His gaze, his presence, his energy, 1,000 times more potent now that we were sharing a space. Still, since that wasn't exactly a good excuse for my actions, I was just about ready to apologize when he replied,
Princeton. Please. Call me Princeton.
Well, Princeton, I hope you enjoy your night. You've definitely earned it, I told him with a smile that could only be interpreted as friendly.
Yeah? You think so?
He asked, his eyebrow peaked, and his innocent grin replaced with a look of uncertainty. Is he serious right now? It was possible that Princeton just wanted his ego stroked, possible that he was used to people, especially women, being overly complimentary of his talent and expected the same from me. But something about his expression read otherwise, as if he was really uneasy about his performance in the ring. And since that seemed ridiculous, my face was scrunched when I replied, Huh? Is that really a question? Because if it is, we can surely go ask old boy who got his face smashed in what he thinks about it. And that's if he can even remember the fight happening. He brushed me off with a quiet chuckle.
Couple days in a dark room and he'll be all right.
That sounds really depressing, spilled out before I could contain it, as I tried to make sense of why anyone would subject themselves to such torture. But once again, Princeton only brushed me off.
It's the name of our game, love. That's what we do. All we know.
Even if he thought so, I was quick to clarify. All they know. I mean, they're the ones taking a beating. Not you, Mr. Undefeated. The boyish smile returned, though it didn't exactly match his response.
It's still a risk every time I step in the ring, and I'd be a fool to take any of my opponents lightly. Every fighter has a puncher's chance.
While I could appreciate his humble mentality, and would be sure to include my impression of that in my write-up. I couldn't help but tease. Well, I guess you've just been lucky enough to have never been laid out on your back.
I don't mind being on my back every once in a while, Bella.
He replied so smoothly that I almost laughed it off until I replayed his words in my head. Did he just